Is mine not?
Hello and welcome to the BT Sports studio, where we're live on Facebook and Periscope ahead of Rugby Tonight at 8 p.m. on BT Sport 1. Now, Six Nations is intriguing enough on its own, but when it's a Lions year, the interest goes up a notch. We're over halfway through the tournament, so Flats and I thought it high time to share our Lions 15s of the best performance so far with you. But we want to hear from you guys as well, so get your questions in and we'll answer as many as we can later on. So Flats, let's start with you. Let's have a look at your team.
Let's have a look. Are you happy with that, Benny?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Just talk us through some of the maybe more controversial selections.
I think the key ones, I think a lot of people are talking about the back row. For me, I was really interested to see Marrow play a bit of six in this Six Nations, but I think he's basically been a lock, if you ask me, and I don't see how you leave Stander out. He's been that impressive.
I'd agree with you on that. And Itoje, just for Itoje, he's made 6 turnovers, 42 tackles and 3 offloads. Stander, 69 carries for 161 metres and 12 defenders beaten. So they're 2 of the star performers so far. Talk about some of the backs, because Elliot Daly at 13 hasn't played there much.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be a controversial one. And up until now, I've been thinking Jonathan Joseph, I've been thinking Ringrose, lots of guys who could play in that position, but I just... Probably because we watch him more than anyone else, but I just see real magic in Elliot Daly, and I think 13, if I was playing against Elliot Daly, that's a position I'd want him to play least, because he could potentially cause the most damage in tight and out wide. So for me, I'm looking at it from an All Blacks point of view. Who do I least want to play 13? And I reckon Elliot Daly is bang up there. What do you think?
Yeah, I went for slightly different, but just going for the halfbacks. We'll get to my team in a minute. Sexton, he's had half a game. He's walked straight into your team. Farrell at 12.
Yeah.
Why?
I just think they're 2 absolute alpha males on the field. You can do it all. I think there is a you've got to say, historic, the last 12 months, there's a good chance Johnny Sexton won't be fit for all 3 tests, and I think Owen Farrell then becomes Lions 10 for me. I just think they're 2 players that, when they're on song, we're presuming everyone's on song, they've got it all. And for Johnny Sexton to arrive in that Ireland team, having not played for so long, and deliver what he delivered last weekend, that says so much about his sort of psychological robustness and strength that I think he is a weapon you can't leave out.
Very quickly, your position, the front row.
Yeah.
Talk us through those. Why have you gone for McGrath?
I love the idea of Mako at loosehead. I just think whoever's on the bench is going to come on in the front row, and I think there's no one better off the bench than Mako. So I'd happily start Mako, but I really like McGrath and Tyg Furlong. Jamie George, I think, is just an outstanding rugby player, and I think Dylan Hartley is the right guy to captain England, but I think Jamie George is the best hooker in England currently, so there's a question to be asked there pretty soon. But Tyg Furlong, mega exciting on the tight head. Thought Fagerson for Scotland might go better than he has. Doesn't help him that he hasn't had Ali Dickinson at loose head, but I've loved those 2 Irish props, and I think McGrath gets better and better. OK, shall we have a look at my team then? Let's have a little look. So the differences, let's pick out the differences. We both went for Hogg. I think he's a shoo-in with his attacking play at the moment. Maybe a few questions about his defence. Obviously, that 9, 10, 12 access is the same. I went for Joseph instead of Daly. I just think he's had a bit of a prod with a stick. I thought he was a lot better for Bath at the weekend in a losing side. George North's a big call for me, because he's not particularly performing consistently well. I think I love watching George North when he's playing well, and he's a specimen, isn't he? But I think you're picking a bit on reputation.
Well, there's a little bit of that, but he is a big game player, and his try against Italy shows that he can produce something from nothing. And when you're playing against one of the best defences in the world, I think New Zealand would still fear him, despite him consistently not reaching the heights that we might have expected to.
Yeah.
I think the other big call for me is not having Alan Wynne in the team, even though I'm going to pick him as my tour captain. But I think if I was picking the first test team, Johnny Gray and Itoje would have to go in there. Johnny Gray calling the line-outs, but I just think that those 2's work rate would make such an impact on the team. So I know I'm a little bit light on leadership by not having Alan Wynne in there. And as I said, he's going to be my tour captain, but at the moment, I just can't not pick Johnny Gray.
But Johnny Gray, for me, I know exactly what you mean, and I think he might well play all 3 tests. But say you get Johnny Gray against Alan Wynne, would you rather have 25 tackles in a test match from Johnny Gray, 1 or 2 of which are aggressive, the rest are passive soak-ups, or have 15 or 16 tackles from Alan Wynne, 10 of which are horrible?
We're going to have to disagree on this one.
Yeah, all right.
For the moment. But as I said, last week I was picking Alan Wynne in the team, so it's that fickle.
It changes.
And then I went for Mako, just to partner Billy in terms of that double ability to get over the gain line when you're running into a brick wall. I think that's what England have missed the most about those two's injuries over the last, and Saracens as well. They're nowhere near the side without those two playing in combination.
No, I'm up for that. I'm up for Mako starting, whichever one of those two.
And we both went with Jamie George.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
We don't need Dylan's leadership as much, maybe, and 14 out of 14 line-outs so far. What else has he got? Well, that's it. 14 out of 14 line-outs. No, we've seen what he can do with the thing. Let's ask some questions then. So, from David Prentice on Facebook, 5 other locks better than Alan Wynne-Jones. Launchbury, the Greys, Laws, Cruz when fit, have to go ahead of Jones. Interesting.
I thought
not so much a question.
When Scotland beat Wales, I honestly thought that Alan Wynne-Jones was the best lock on the field.
Yeah, Richard Wilson, that's a big one, because after last week's performance, I did think Joe Launchbury maybe had played his way back in, but as I said, I can't get over Johnny Gray.
Well, that will change by tomorrow for us, won't it? It all changes.
From Jamie, Stuart Hogg at 15 for the Lions. Do his attacking stats negate his defensive frailties? Is that wise in New Zealand?
I think that, yes. Do you know what I think? But if New Zealand make a line break, there's no one better in the world at flooding a line break. I think you're the last-ditch defender. It's very rarely a one-on-one to finish with New Zealand. It's always the full-back marking 2 or 3 guys running through. I just think, do you know what, he does miss a few tackles. Let's hope he gets better.
I'm in agreement, because I don't think you can beat New Zealand by stopping them defensively. I think you've got to score tries. And we've seen over this championship, under massive pressure, his ability to score tries or create tries that no one else would do.
I think if you're New Zealand, who do you want to play against less? Stuart Hogg or Lee Halfpenny, or say Carney? I think the player you want on the field least against you is Stuart Hogg, because ball in hand, he gives you nightmares.
Caroline Simmons, saying, where is Rocco?
Rocco, Bath fan.
You occasionally get some players that aren't playing international rugby that do go on a Lions trip. Do you think there's anyone, Rocco included, that might do that?
I don't think so. I had a chat with Warren Gatland last week, and I think there are so many players playing well for their countries. I know Rocco's not uncapped, but the uncapped player, the guy who's not playing for his country, I think it's unlikely we're going to see any of those.
Well, someone's just written, Charlie Sparks on Twitter has just written one that might change your mind. What about Denny Solomonona? I can't even say his name.
He's captain. Denny Solomona, and as I say every week, he should be captain. And for me, if there is a bolter, this is absolute bias. We try our best to be neutral in here, and I am neutral. Absolute bias. Nathan Catt / Ellis Genge. Ellis Genge is less of a bolter because he's playing for England a bit here and there. But Nathan Catt, I really think in New Zealand with his engine could cause some damage. But he definitely won't go. I'm just saying it.
Well, there you go. We'll leave on a front row player just to keep you happy. That's all we've got time for now. We'll be back here at 8 p.m. on BT Sport 1 for a very special Rugby Tonight that includes Sarah and Oz trying to stay out of trouble at the Matt Hampson Foundation's Six Nations dinner. We'll see you then.